What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the first video of the Habit series. This is a series that I plan to start where I point out unusual habits that people have. This video is actually kind of inspired by a video that Void made. Check it out. It's called The S, GSM Void. I'll link it in the description below. But it harps on an S pattern that people like to do when they're drifting. And you should just go check it out. It's really informative, really help you out. And maybe you'll notice yourself doing it a lot, or maybe like your opponent doing a lot. But today I really wanted to just focus on some dashing habits. Now, we were wondering, how is it possible for one to have dash habits? That doesn't even make sense. Well, there's a very particular habit that I want to talk about today, and I'll actually show you right now. See it? I'll go back one more time for you and see if y'all can catch it. If you were able to figure out what it is a very simple dash back, dash forward habit. And it's interesting how many players aren't aware that they have this habit. I actually played someone recently at a local, and their entire offense always started with doing dash back, dash forward something. Now, what's interesting about this particular clip is it actually only happens one other time in this entire set. And if you've watched Light vs. Spargo before, it is an 8-game set. So that one interaction of the triple dash back, dash forward only happens one other time, and I'll actually show you it later in the video. Now, you're probably wondering, like, what's so significant about this habit? Well, you got hit. And there's a reason it only happens one other time. When you dash back and dash forward, you aren't moving anywhere. You're kind of just moving back and forth between this same zone. And generally what happens is if someone catches on to that, they'll just overshoot. They'll go, oh, wait a second. They just did dash back. They're probably going to do dash forward, and they'll hit you like this. Dash back, dash back, dash forward, boom. So you may be wondering, like, well, I don't get it. Like, why is this important? It's because you need to learn how to mix up your dashes. Now, I actually went through this entire set. I watched the entire thing, this whole 30. It took forever. But I watched the entire set, and I was like, how does Light actually, we're going to focus on Light for this mostly. How does Light actually like mix up the way that he dashes? So I'll pull up a few examples that I have timestamped for you, and we'll just talk about a couple differences that he does. Now, normally, if he's going to do dash back, dash forward, it's normally only once. That's the first thing you'll notice in a lot of these is just dash back once, then dash forward. Doing it 3 times is just giving your opponent time to figure out what you want to do. But let's look at this one. There was no dash forward at all. What's that? Notice that as Light decides to dash back, Spargo looks to intercept the dash forward. Because earlier you saw, wait a second, dash back, it's time for dash forward. And that would have net Spargo the stock. That dash attack would have taken the stock. But Light is aware of that. Wait a second, I can't do dash back, dash forward every single time. So he elects to go, okay, let me just dash, boom, shoot some lasers. We're good. We're back to neutral. We don't have to worry about this whole dash back, dash forward thing. And you'll start to notice this happen more and more as a few more of the examples go up. So I'll actually let this play for a little bit because the next example is at like 54 seconds. But it's important for you to be very aware of why you're moving. So again, we've dash backed. Now we jump. What? You did dash back, dash forward. I don't get it. No, no, no. In this game, you can actually interrupt your dashes earlier if you do like a jump or a shield or roll. Most people know that. You don't have to go, or like a tilt. You don't have to go the full duration of your dash. And that slight difference in distance made Spargo miss. And you'll notice it actually happen again. After he hits his shield, he goes dash back. Spargo again is looking for the dash forward. and he jumps early again. Now, of course, if you're looking at the video, you can see that Spargo's mistiming some of these things. But notice that Light is able to gain information through these few interactions. He's gained one. Okay, when I dash back, he's looking to catch me moving forward. And I know because earlier he hit me for doing dash back, dash forward, dash back, dash forward. When I did dash back lasers, he tried to do dash attack. When I'm doing these dash backs now, he's trying to intercept me moving forward. So you gain information through your movement in this game. And a lot of people get stuck on thinking that because they are doing dash back, dash forward, they're playing neutral or they are controlling a different form of space. But in reality, you're just making yourself pretty susceptible to being hit. So now we've kind of gone through some of the dash back, dash forwards. Let's look at him just being a little more defensive. Huh. Double dash back. Again, Spargo swings, looking for him to move forward, which is something you all should notice when you're playing. Hey, when I'm dashing back, like, what is the opponent doing? Like, where are they looking to be? It shouldn't just be, there's time, there's space, I'm just going to do dash back, dash forward just because. Note what your opponent's doing, note why you're moving. So, does double dash back this time, then tomahawk grab. That's a mix-up opportunity, but no, again, there's layers to how he's gonna dash. Sometimes he's gonna do dash back, dash forward, like interrupt early, jump. Sometimes he's gonna do double dash back. Sometimes he's gonna do full run laser. It's getting, when we're in that mid-range area, it's getting a little unpredictable on how Light's gonna move, right? And then this is probably gonna be the last example of how you can improve upon like your dash habit. Like if you as a player find yourself like, I don't really understand what to do in neutral, like I find myself just doing dash back, dash forward, and like either waiting for my opponent to come to me or like make mistakes, you start to understand like, wait a second, when I do this they do this, so I improve my playing this way. So we are on game 2. We've been playing for a little bit. We have a lot of information between these games, right? Check this out. No dash back, just straight dash forward. Now, Sparkle's like, what in the world? Why is he so close to me? And he interrupts. Light actually ends up interrupting Spargo's dash back. Because now Light's gained the information. Wait a second. He's been looking for a lot of my dash backs. And some of the times when I do dash back, he also dashes back. I think that it's time for me to move forward. So there's a lot of different ways you can play the mid-range. Note that all these situations are pretty much at like this distance, not too far from the opponent, not too close to the opponent where like, they're in like super close quarters. So I'll actually go through and show you the only other time, and look how far it is the next time this happens. Literally the only other time in the set that the dash back, dash forward like multiple times happens. And I'll actually like show you why it's a little different. Okay. At the beginning, we were in one of those like when you first start playing against your opponent, you don't have that much information on them. So you're trying to gather data. That's normally what the dash back, dash forwards are about. You're just trying to gather data and figure out how you should be moving afterward, right? Here, there's a lot more space in between them. So if they decide to do dash back, dash forward, if Spargo were to move forward a lot more, Light would be aware of what he's trying to do. He would go, wait a second, he's gone way too far. He's trying to catch me doing dash back, dash forward like I did before. So they continue, like, look how far they are now. And look, Spargo again trying to catch it. So Light's like, wait a second. No, no, no. Let me shoot some lasers, take my time, dash back, dash forward, and dash back, dash forward. We go for the dash attack. Now, what's interesting is Spargo here had been going, like, because he's seen so many different variations of dash back, dash forward at this point, and you saw a lot of them in that one moment. You saw dash back, dash forward, like do the full hop down air. You saw dash back lasers. Spargle's confused, you know? It's hard. You don't want to guess against Fox. Like that's one of the worst things you can do. So you don't want to like overcommit and be like, "Oh no, I'm wrong," and take, 20, 30, depending on the hit that they get, what could be 60, 70. Um so he just decides, "You know what? After all this, I'm just shielded. I'm doing dash up shield," which will actually be what my next video is about in the Habit series. Dash up shield. But I hope you learned a lot from this. It's something that I try to teach players as I'm doing my like Metafy lessons and like my friends and stuff. I'm playing with them, and like I'll notice that they have a habit of not acting until they do dash back, dash forward, or they'll dash back, dash forward too many times, and you just get hit because people will just start overshooting the moment they see you dash back because you don't have any other forms of movement. So I hope this helped you like think of new ways to improve your dashing habits. Um, and what's really interesting, I actually forgot to mention this. This is the first time that Light decides to take a grounded approach. For the most part, he did like dash back, dash forward jumps, but from mid range, he actually just took the grounded approach, full move forward, dash attack. Like, or I forget what he gets. It's dash attack, right? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so hopefully this did help you all. And I'll go through a lot of different habits. Probably the next one will be dash shielding, just to stay on the topic of dashes. But I have a few jump habits that I'm looking at where people jump in specific areas, specifically one jump right here where people try to, force their way back to center stage, and one jump where they are below the ledge and they try to jump to the edge, which is it gets a lot of people killed very often. And what's funny is I think most of these videos are going to feature Light. But yeah, anyway, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.